Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I have two American blended whiskeys. This is Clubhouse. Introduced in 2018, blended whiskey with natural flavors and caramel color, bottled by Kentucky Standard Distillers, Bardstown, Kentucky. No, there's no real company named Kentucky Standard Distillers. It's Heaven Hill. It's on the Heaven Hill website in the product specification. It's only produced in liters. Now I've bought the gin. I bought the gin in a little, I think it was 200 milliliter bottle once, but this is just standard. They say standard, Kentucky Standard. It's standard, right? Basic bottle. Same color scheme that you get with American blended whiskeys, though. You usually have brown, some like khaki or linen, maybe some gold, a little red. So usually American blended whiskeys have this brown and beige color scheme, and it follows that pattern. It's got a clubhouse in the background. You can't really see it on this broadcast, but there's a clubhouse with crossed golf clubs, and on the other side, crossed fishing poles. So it says it's bottled by this company. It doesn't say produced by them. So it could have been whiskey they got on auction or whatever. It could be from any state. It doesn't claim that it's Kentucky blended whiskey. It says American blended whiskey. So it's very likely from other states. There's no blend ratio, no 80-20, 75-25, 65-35, thing like that. So that means that it's 100% whiskey, as cheap as it is. And they add natural flavor and caramel color to it. Natural flavor, caramel color. They were selling this in international market for $5.99 a liter. I bought it because I figured, what's the downside? If it tastes bad, well, I didn't pay a lot. And I didn't pay a lot. It's not terrible. But this is the kind of thing you buy when you lost your job and you haven't found a new one yet. But you still want to have a sip of whiskey each day. $5.99 a liter. This is probably what they would have at a bar or restaurant behind the bar. For if you say, give me a whiskey and Coke, they're going to use that. You'd be lucky if they use Coca-Cola. They might use Food Club or Surefine or Best Choice Soda Pop. But they're going to charge you Coca-Cola and Jack Daniel's prices, right? So can you still get it for $5.99 a liter? I doubt it. With this inflation, it's probably $7.50 a liter, maybe $6.99. I got a little bit left. I have enough left for probably, two more taste challenges. Maybe. Probably two. That should work. Now we have a product introduced the next year, 2019, Texas 254. And they're no longer listing this on their website. Backwoods Craft Distillery, Waxahachie, Texas. They redid their website. I think one reason is because there's a craft distillery in Australia called Backwoods Craft Distillery. Of course, Australia trademark laws would not affect the U.S. trademark laws and vice versa. So could affect if you want to import or export it. But instead of going back and forth with all of that, they call themselves Backwoods Craft Spirits now. Okay, so that's it's Backwoods Craft Spirits as of about, well, actually that was an alternative name that they were using all the way from 2019. The actual name of the company is MBW Distilling. I think Mark W. Wheeler. It's the guy's initials, okay? I was thinking they were out of business because it's just like they disappeared off of Google and Yahoo searches, and Everything like shut down. But I guess they were redoing their website, so it had to go away maybe or something. I don't know. It went away for a couple of weeks, but now it's back. Although they're not showing Texas 254 anymore, they're not showing any Canadian whiskeys in their portfolio. I think they just redid their whole. Now they're showing backwoods whiskeys, only backwoods, a bourbon, Texas bourbon and such. Then they've got moonshines. They say our shines. I didn't see the pickle vodka, but I wasn't looking carefully at the flavored stuff. Most of the whiskeys like pecan, peach, vanilla, so forth, because that's what everybody's selling these days. Everybody's going berserk trying to find Crown Royal Blackberry flavored whiskey. I had a chance to buy it and I passed. I thought I'll just get it next week. I didn't know it was going to sell out over the whole United States. I'm not desperate to buy it anyway, but it'd be nice to buy it. So as you can see, this is very light. A very light straw appearance. Like yellow. And this one is copper. Well, caramel, copper, caramel from the caramel color. And so I have to close my eyes. Now I have tags at the bottom of the glasses. Obviously, I don't need tags because I would never confuse the two. Once I see the light color straw, I'm going to know. Now, look. Texas 254 is not going to win because I've started picking up in the last week. I started picking up this weird pickle juice aroma. Pickle juice aroma. Bad sign, right? But see, that company produces, or they did produce until maybe just a month ago, Texacraft pickle vodka. All right. It's a vodka and it tastes like it's a flavor vodka. Obviously, it's got food coloring to make it greenish yellow. And it tastes like dill pickles, I'm sure, because I've tried some of these other pickle vodkas and beers and it tastes like dill pickle. I don't know why you would want to drink something like that, but people do it. And I didn't drink any of those and think I'd love to try more. I just thought, I could see that, but I wouldn't want to drink it, but it wasn't offensive or off-putting. It just wasn't something for me. But I think they're using the same equipment for the pickle vodka, and then they went and used the same equipment to make this, and they may not have cleaned it so well, because I'm telling you, I'm picking that up. But let's go anyway. Oh, good. I hope the rain holds off a little bit so I can go walking. That'd be ideal. We're not going to delay this one. Got no screen share to show you anyway. It's nothing to show you. Yeah, this smells like that nuttiness. Now, I noticed, and my friend David also noticed, that the Clubhouse had a very nutty aroma and flavor. Like, we couldn't figure out if it was pecans or walnuts or almonds or whatever, but it's there. He said, well, it is natural flavors. Could they be using a nut oil or extract? They could be. It's allowed. But the only regulation is that NTE 2.5%, not to exceed 2.5% of the volume. All right, that's clearly written. Doesn't say what flavors you can use. Theoretically, you could use anything. I think usually they use something called blending sherry, but which is a type of wine. But and they are allowed to use caramel color. That's the only coloring allowed, caramel color. But remember that none of that can exceed 2.5% of the volume. NTE, it says it on the Tax and Trade Bureau's handbook, NTE, not to exceed. Now they're updating the handbook because there's new regulations, so some of that might have changed. I need to reread the whole thing. That's going to take a long time. I think I'm picking up that pickle juice, and that ain't right. It's not supposed to be that way. Okay, taste time. Yeah, nuttiness. That's it. Now, I was saying this stuff's kind of bitey. I guess it is, but it's not biting back too much today. Because sometimes it'll be like, You make you grit your teeth. You say, "Oh, come on, man! They're using this as a mixer. Nobody's drinking that meat at room temperature." You got that right. You are definitely right. But then I used the same protocol for all these products. Neat, no added water or ice, even, and at room temperature. And if it's shabby and it doesn't taste that good, hey, well, too bad. The product's cheap, so it tastes bad. They don't ever really taste bad, but taste substandard. So that product. That's why it's $5.99 a liter, or maybe $8.99 a liter. Still cheap, cheap, cheap. All right, taste Chaz. Does price generally follow? Does taste tend to follow price? I found that it has tended to do that over the years with these products. Which makes sense. Yeah, nice corn tastes to me like corn whiskey, very sweet corn. Rye, no. Wheat, maybe. Barley malt, well, I don't know about that. Just a lot of corn, like corn flour, cornmeal type of thing. Is it any way bad? No, not bad. It's young, only 2 years age, but it's got this very fine undertaste of pickle vodka, pickle juice. So that's a serious flaw, like you can't ever give it any credit for anything because it just has that problem. I mean, somebody might taste that and bring it back to the store and say, man, something's up with this. It's a non-factor though, because this stuff, I've never seen it in Louisiana except for one store, Broadway Liquors in New Orleans. It was $19.99 for the handle, the big handle. I guess that's all right. It's not anything good though on price. This is probably $13.99 for a handle. See what I'm saying? $13.99. And man, I was at Albertsons Thursday, sorry. They had like 4 different whiskeys for $13.99 a handle. One of them was sold out, completely sold out. You know why? Because it's $13.99 a handle. Cheap, 75 South. Is 75 South real good? No. It's just real cheap, and it's from Buffalo Trace. Do they put their name on it? Are you crazy? They don't. They try to disassociate themselves from that all the way. They don't even use their own name. It says County Line Distillers Company Limited. That kind of silly stuff. It's Buffalo Trace is a bourbon company, and they make vodka, Wheatley vodka, and that's what their image is. We do straight bourbon. We're a serious company, and no. We won more awards than anybody in the universe, they claim. But on the other hand, they realize that there is a big market for cheap stuff. And so they put it out there with no fanfare, and they probably hoping nobody notices that they make it. Just like Jim Beam, they put some cheap stuff out there, but they don't put their name on it. They'll put some like alias name, Kentucky Liquors, Kentucky Whiskey Distillers Cooperative. It's a company that doesn't exist. It's just a name that they register with the U.S. government. And the U.S. government allows it. They call it assumed names. You look at the thing. They could register 1,000 names, and as long as they are putting it under that, they don't care. Maybe that fools somebody. I don't know. I don't know why it would. You look at the bottles, it'd be like Clear Spring Distilling, Claremont, Frankfort, Kentucky. Everybody that knows anything about whiskey knows that's Jim Beam. Or you see Bardstown, Kentucky Quality Distillers, or Kentucky Standard Distillers. Like, oh, Bardstown. Let's see. Let me think. Heaven Hill, ding ding, and so forth. It's not really trick. It shouldn't trick you if you do a little research. It's going to say Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Ring the bell. That's Midwest Grain Products, the old Seagram's distillery. So these things might trick the average consumer. But then you say, yeah, but the average consumer doesn't even look at that information, like who makes it. You're right. And furthermore, they would not care who makes it because they're making Jello shots for New Year's Eve. So they clearly don't care who makes it. They don't care what distillery is from. And none of that matters because, like I say, it's Jello shots. So who cares? No one cares. You say the only one cares are people like you, these like whiskey enthusiasts that stay on the internet looking up stuff, going to events talking about it. All right, that is the only people that care about it. That's a niche group. I don't claim that that's a lot of people. Is it a bad thing to do it? No. Is it sort of eccentric? I would say yes, because most people don't do that. But it's not harmful, it's not hurting yourself, it's not hurting others. Just what you call a hobby. Okay. When I'm at work, I'll bring up these subjects. Does anyone care? No. Does anyone have any interest? I would say no. No, they don't. So I'm basically talking to myself. So therefore, I don't bring up those subjects very often. Sometimes I will, but the interest level is nil. Like I told somebody yesterday, I said, "Hey, you know why they call Dewar's double aged? Why is Dewar's called a double aged whiskey, Scotch whiskey?" He didn't know, and he surely did not care. Okay, so this is the Clubhouse, and it's clearly a better product. And it's a lot cheaper, so it wins on all counts, except Texas 254 has a nicer looking label, but I can't drink the label. Okay. Now this thing, how would I ever confuse that? Because look how pale it is. That's why I had my eyes closed. I don't know. Something's not right. Definitely not. Okay. Low Shine says, hey, just came in from the Black Velvet review. Oh, yes. I still have Black Velvet. Wesley S. Thymer says, people don't always read what they are getting. I tried some Guinness recently. It gets the job done. Yeah, Guinness. And for a long time, if you paid attention to the Guinness label, it said from New Brunswick, Canada. It was being contract brewed by, I think it was Moosehead for a long time, and it was high alcohol, 6%. But I don't know, maybe they had an argument, or I don't know what happened. Maybe just Guinness decided they wanted to do it back in Ireland only. I don't know the story, but they lost the contract, and Guinness went back to Irish production only, and sometimes American for some of that distillery is gone. I mean, that brewery is gone. It didn't last. The one in Maryland, Baltimore County, Maryland. That was a sad story, all the money they spent on that thing. But the alcohol level dropped from 6 to 5.6. Yeah. Yeah, the one I tried was 5.6. Yeah. But Guinness varies all around the world. Like if you look at Guinness bottles from around the world, they vary. There'll be 5.6, 6%. It'll be all over some of them will say Guinness, it'd be 8%. Guinness doesn't say foreign extra stout, it just say Guinness stout, 8%, but it could be in a country like Lesotho or Imaswati or Tuvalu, something like that. All right, so the winner, the clear and present winner, is this one, Clubhouse, and we got one more to bring in tomorrow, and it won't be a good video. So if you skip it, I won't take offense, because they're probably better things to watch. I got to close it out with, I always got to cover everything. I want to cover every product, as bad as they might be, or as bad as they might seem to be. So, and then we're on to a very exciting series with straight bourbon. So get ready for that one. That's going to be good. All right. Bye, everybody.